Hoka Bondi 4. It's my new trainer I've been wearing the last couple weeks. I bought it because I was tapering down for a marathon and I thought I'd baby my legs a little bit more by getting something with just a lot of cushioning and let those legs recover a little bit going up into my goal marathon here. It's been an interesting shoe for me because I've been wearing a lot of lower stack height shoes, and it's been a little bit of a transition for me. The very first time I wore these, I kind of felt like I had mountain boots on just because their sole is so thick and they're so inflexible that it just took me a little getting used to. One other note I should mention, I was reading that there's evidently been a change where some of these were previously made in China and now they're made in Vietnam. So the version I have was made in Vietnam. Just FYI, I can't speak to the differences between the China and the Vietnam version. I only have this version, so take that for what it's worth. This shoe is basically a super cushioned trainer. It's very responsive. It's a very firm shoe. That's one thing that took me a little bit by surprise. I had run into Conquest before, and that shoe was like running on a pillow. You know, my foot just sank into that. And that's kind of what I was expecting out of these, and these are definitely more firm than that. They're kind of breaking in and might continue to do so, so they might loosen up a little bit as time goes on, but they are actually a very firm shoe. They're also very, very inflexible. It's about the most firm shoe I've ever seen. Like, you can hardly bend it, and this is after, like I said, I've already put 100 miles in them, and so there's very little twisting, very little flexibility to them. The upper is very breathable and it's been very comfortable for me. I like the material. I've been running in winter in Michigan, and these shoes just feel like they're like indestructible basically when I go out and run. Like, I can run through snow because that stack height's so, you know, so ridiculous, that you can feel like you can run through snow, slop, you know, and it doesn't sink in through your foot, and yet it's got this breathability factor that's, you know, really nice. So I really like it for that, for a winter trainer especially. It's been doing a great job for me for that. I feel, like I said, I don't feel like I have to, you know, dance around and, you know, avoid running through, you know, snow and ice and stuff like that. So that's one thing I really like. One downside, it's got kind of these roundish laces that tend to come untied, so I usually tend to double knot those just to be sure they don't come loose. These shoes, like I said, they feel like they're pretty much indestructible. You can wear these for long, long runs, put a ton of mileage on these. I have a feeling these are going to last forever. I've put 100 miles on them already, and I really don't see much signs of wear. There is quite a bit of exposed foam here on the sole, so I've noticed a little bit of wear down in here in the forefoot where I strike a lot. So I'm kind of interested to see how that works out. Where there's rubber, the rubber is holding up real well, but a little bit concerned about the exposed foam here, especially right in the forefoot where it, you know, a lot of my weight hits right there, and that's basically almost worn smooth already. From these little grippy knobs here. So that's one thing I've noticed already. But again, the rubber, where the rubber hits, it's holding up pretty darn well. So I'm expecting these shoes to last, you know, get my money's worth out of them. I got these on sale because the new version came out. These are the 4. There's the 5s that are out already. So I got these, I think, for 80, 90 bucks or something like that on Running Warehouse. So at that price, I figure it's a good buy. If you're looking for a lot of structure in the shoe, this is definitely one for you. There's, you know, the upper is very solid. The heel counter here is very solid. You don't feel like you're gonna smash that down or your heel's gonna come loose or anything like that. It really feels like a firm, you know, secure ride, and it's got this meta rocker to help you go into that toe off. You know, it just naturally, especially because it's so firm, it just, you know, automatically your weight just carries you forward. So yeah, I've run a lot of long runs in these. I think they are pretty much. I also run my recovery runs in these because of the cushioning. So there's a lot of different factors there. It's a very generalist kind of shoe. So if you're looking for something for a daily trainer, if you're looking for something with a lot of cushioning, if you're looking for a winter running shoe, um, this is a pretty good shoe for you. This is a trainer. You're probably not going to run races in this. You can probably find something more reasonable, something lighter. But it's definitely, I think it's a pretty good daily trainer. I was, again, a little surprised that it wasn't more cushy, softer cushioning. It's definitely got a lot of cushioning, but it's just not real soft as I expected. It's actually pretty firm sole, so that's one thing to take into account. If you're looking for something real cushy, at least in my experience, this shoe hasn't been it. It maybe will loosen up over the next, couple hundred miles. Maybe it'll get there, but compared to something like the Conquest, it's much more firm. So take that into account. Hopefully that was helpful to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more content.